Thank you so much for joining this morning for All Levels Yoga. Today's class focuses on digestion, how we can use yoga to help to regulate our digestion. So we'll start today by finding a comfortable seat and drawing that navel in towards the spine. Allow the crown of the head to reach towards the sky and bring the shoulder blades together and down your back, placing the hands on the thighs, palms up, and close your eyes. Begin to become aware of your breath. And if it's possible, allow that breath to flow in through the nose and out through the nose. Start to bring the breath into balance by making the inhale the same length as the exhale. And if you're comfortable with that, you can also work on making the volume of air equal on the inhale and the exhale. With each inhale, allow that spine to grow tall. And then as you exhale, keep the length in the spine, but just begin to allow your body to soften. Relax the shoulders away from the ears, relax the jaw. Just let the knees gravitate towards the earth. So studies show that practicing yoga can have a positive impact on people's stress and anxiety levels. We also know that practicing yoga has physical benefits, strength, flexibility. But one of the best benefits from yoga is aiding in our digestion. So there's a system in the body that regulates the involuntary functions like breathing, heart rate, digestion. That is the autonomic nervous system, ANS. And then that system is divided up into two parts, the sympathetic and the parasympathetic. So the sympathetic system allows the body to function under stress. You've probably heard of the fight or flight reflex. So that's part of the sympathetic nervous system. That system really should only come on if we are in a situation that is life-threatening. But we've become so stressed and anxious in our society that that fight or flight response could come on multiple times a day. And that's not really good for us. Our body becomes flooded with hormones. Our heart rate quickens, the breath becomes shallow. We can use yoga practices to then turn on that parasympathetic system. And you can think of the parasympathetic system as the rest and digest. So sympathetic, fight or flight, fight, flight, or freeze, actually they're saying now, and parasympathetic, rest and digest. One thing that happens when that sympathetic system activates, our body slows down or shuts down its digestive processes so that it can use all of its energy to fight this life-threatening situation. So since that system comes on in our modern society a lot, our digestion is slowing down or stopping. So we can activate the parasympathetic system to get things going again, to calm our body, calm our mind, which can then regulate the inner workings of the body. Heart rate slows, blood pressure goes down, digestion resumes. So there are different yoga poses that can help in this. Many of them calm the sympathetic system And then some of them are really just applying pressure to the digestive organs, and we'll go through that. So any type of twist or laying on your belly, you're going to be putting some pressure on the digestive system, which is going to help to get things moving. So let's bring our hands together at the heart in Anjali Mudra. And one thing to remember too, I've been talking about physical digestion, but in addition to that, there's also the digestion of experiences. So you hear me talk about our backpack full of our stored emotions and things. When we are more regulated and that parasympathetic system is activated, we're able to digest life as well, or more able to, I should say. So we find ourselves more calm and able to experience things in the moment that may not be great, to work through them, and then be able to proceed through life without carrying all that stuff around. So hands come together at the heart. We'll breathe 3 times together, and on the 3rd exhale, share the sound of Om. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Inhale and exhale. And for the 3rd time together, inhale. Bow your head. Place the hands on the thighs. Softly open your eyes, looking forward. So we're going to start today in child's pose. So we're just going to start in a nice restful posture. To get to child's pose, you will just come to all fours, hands and knees, and then shift the hips to the heels, the chest to the thighs. So you can lower the elbows here or cross the forearms in front of you and rest the head, whatever feels restful to you. Maintain awareness of the balanced breath flowing in through your nose and out through your nose. If they're not already, extend the arms out nice and long, elbows up off of the mat. Take a breath in. As you exhale, begin to walk your hands out to the left as you bow out those right ribs. For a deeper version, you can place that right hand on top of the left hand and feel the stretch in the right side of the body. Start to walk the hands back towards the center, and on the next exhale, you'll walk your hands out to the right, this time bowing out those left ribs. Walk your hands back to center, and then as you inhale, come up all fours, hands and knees. Take a breath in. As you exhale, shift the hips to the heels, the chest to the thighs, coming to extended child's pose. And as you inhale, come back up all fours. You're moving with your breath at your own pace. Exhale back to child's pose. Inhale up all fours. So we're going to shift back to child's pose and pause there for a moment, but we're going to make a modification by placing our fists on our thighs and then moving into child's pose. So the fists are actually pressing into the belly. Good. So you can come up to remove the fists, come back to all fours, hands and knees. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, begin to round the spine towards the sky. And on the inhale, the belly draws down towards the floor, bottom and the head towards the sky. As you exhale, round that spine. Inhale, belly draws down. Continue moving with the breath in and out of cat and cow. Bring yourself back to a neutral neck, neutral spine. So we're going to practice a pose now called malasana. It is a squat. So if your knees can't handle this pose, then just skip it. But for malasana, you're going to sit with your toes curled under and then lift the knees up off of the mat and bring them out like a V. So your heels are close together, and bring your hands at the heart. So in this pose, we're going to hinge from the hips to bring our elbows to the inside of the knees. So you're pressing the elbows into the knees, knees into the elbows. The spine is tall, the breath is balanced. Good. Place the hands on the floor. And then we're going to come to Sukhasana, easy pose. Simple cross-legged posture. Once you get there, be sure to pull the flesh away from those sit bones. Place the hands on the knees, nice tall spine. Hinge forward about 45 degrees. Make sure to keep those sit bones rooted to the earth and start to make big circles at the waist. So again, we're not bending the back here. We're just hinging at those hips. Sit bones stay rooted to the earth. Now we will begin to reverse the direction of these circles at the waist. Sit bones stay rooted. And bring yourself up to a neutral neck, neutral spine. Take your left hand behind your left hip. Make sure the spine stays nice and tall. Sometimes students have a tendency to lean back here. If your hand can't reach the floor, you can put a block or a pillow under it to keep that spine tall. Right hand goes to the top of the left knee. Root down through your sit bones. Inhale, create length in the spine. As you exhale, starting at the belly, begin to twist to your left. Your twist moves up to the ribs, the chest, the shoulders, and if it's okay for the head, you can turn the head. Breathe here. Press down through the sit bones. Inhale, create length in the spine. As you exhale, you'll slowly come back to center. Place the right hand behind the right hip. Left hand comes to the top of that right knee. Nice tall spine. Root down through the sit bones. Inhale, grow tall. As you exhale, begin to twist to the right. So, obviously, I say inhale, exhale a lot. and there are certain times or certain parts of the movement into the asana where you should inhale or exhale. So typically we twist on the exhale because our belly area is smaller at that time, so it makes it more accessible. Press down through the sit bones. Inhale, grow tall. Slowly bring yourself back to center. Extend the legs out nice and long, coming to Dandasana, staff pose. So in staff pose, we extend through the heels. Sometimes those heels pop up. Maybe you're hyperextending the knees, so make sure the heels stay on the mat. Adjust your sit bones as needed. Place your hands by your sides. Close your eyes and just watch the breath flow in through the nose and out through the nose. Bend the left knee, placing the sole of the foot on the mat. You're going to extend through that right heel. Take the left hand behind the left hip. Right arm wraps around that left knee. Press down through the sit bones. Inhale, grow tall. As you exhale, you're twisting to your left, twisting into that bent knee. Breathe here. You can stay just like this, or if you're ready to take it a little deeper, you can take the right elbow to the outside of the left knee, but that's optional. Press down through the sit bones. Inhale, grow tall. Slowly bring yourself back to center. Extend the left leg long to meet the right. Bend the right knee. Sole of the foot comes to the mat. Extend through the left heel. Right hand comes behind the right hip. Left arm wraps around that right knee. Root down through the sit bones. Inhale, grow tall. As you exhale, begin to twist to your right. And again, you have the option to take the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Press down through the sit bones. Inhale, grow tall. Slowly bring yourself back to center. Extend that right leg long to meet the left. Coming back to Dandasana, staff pose. Let's come to all fours, hands and knees once again. Once you come to all fours, you'll take a breath in. As you exhale, shift the hips to the heels, the chest to the thighs, coming to extended child's pose. As you inhale, come back up, all fours. Exhale, back to child's pose. Inhale, up, all fours. The next time you come to all fours, pause there. We're going to begin to move into downward facing dog. So from all fours, curl your toes under. Start to shift the hips towards the heels. The knees lift as you press back through those heels, coming to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Make sure the hips are pointing to the back of the room where the wall meets the ceiling. Relax the heels towards the mat. Start to bend the knees. Go back down into child's pose. As you inhale, come back up all fours. Curl the toes under. Start to shift the hips towards the heels. Knees lift as you press back, downward facing dog. Once again, bend the knees, go back down into child's pose. Inhale, come up all fours. Curl the toes under. Start to shift the hips towards the heels. Knees lift as you press back. Start to walk your feet forward towards your hands, coming to Uttanasana, forward fold. Relax the head and neck here. You can gently turn the head from side to side. Place your hands on your hips, press down through the feet, and bring yourself up to Tadasana, mountain pose. When we stand in mountain pose, the feet are parallel to each other, so they look like an 11. We're rooting down through the four corners of the foot, the pad of the big toe and little toe, inner and outer heel, and to really feel those points, you can lift your toes. Notice when you do that, your leg muscles activate. So keep that, but just relax those toes. Hips are stacked on the knees stacked on the ankles. Pelvis is in neutral. Crown of the head reaches towards the sky. Shoulder blades together and down the back. So this is Tadasana, mountain pose. As you inhale, arms reach up. As you exhale, they lower. So here you're moving with your breath at your own pace. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms lower. The next time the arms are up overhead, pause there. You're going to grasp your right wrist with your left hand and let the right palm look up towards the sky. Press down through your feet. Inhale, grow tall. As you exhale, begin to tip to your left. Feel the stretch in the right side of the body. Breathe here. Slowly bring yourself up. Lower those arms to give them a rest. Inhale, arms reach up. This time you'll grasp your left wrist with the right hand. Palm looks towards the sky. Press down through the feet. Inhale, create length in the spine. Exhale, tip to the right. Breathe. I took a training several years ago in Ayurveda, which is the sister science to yoga. Slowly bring yourself up, lower those arms. And one of the best things that we learn to aid in digestion is to have a cup of warm lemon water when you wake up. I haven't been doing that, but people that do it swear by it and say it's so great just to get everything moving in the morning so you can start fresh. You guys know me, I like my coffee, but I don't drink as much as I used to. All righty. How easily I become distracted. So we're standing in Tadasana. As you inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, hinge from the hips, folding forward. Relax the head and neck here. Bring the hands to the hips. press down through the feet and come to standing. So we're going to work a little bit with balance here. So begin to shift your weight to your left foot. Make sure the knee is not locked. We want to keep the knee soft. Root down through the four corners of those feet, or that foot. You're going to draw your right knee into the chest, give it a little squeeze, and then lower. Shift the weight to the right foot, root down through the four corners of that foot, soft knee. Draw the left knee into the chest, give it a little squeeze. So just continue alternating on your own here. You can go nice and slow, work on your stability. When you hug that knee in, exhale. So you could, exhale as you hug in, inhale as you lower. Exhale, hug in, inhale, lower. 2 more on each side. When you finish, come back to Tadasana. Bring the hands together at your heart. Close your eyes and watch the breath. Open your eyes and we'll move into Vrikshasana, tree pose. Begin to shift the weight over to that left foot. Again, you're keeping the knee soft. The right foot becomes light. You can press the foot against the ankle, the calf, or the upper inner thigh. Just don't press it against your knee. And that's just because if you were to tumble, you don't want to push into your knee. So one of the things that I do, as many others do, when I come into tree pose is my body immediately kind of shrinks because it helps me balance better. So I want you to see if you can stand nice and tall, keeping the navel drawn in. Find a gazing point, something not moving. Watch the breath, and if you feel stable, arms reach up, tree branches grow. Remember to breathe. Bring your hands back together, up overhead. Lower your hands to your heart. Lower the right foot. Shake the legs out. Come back to Tadasana. Hands at the heart. This time, we'll shift the weight to that right foot. Left foot becomes light. You can press the foot against the ankle, the calf, or the upper inner thigh. Again, we skip the knee. And that right knee is soft, nice tall spine here. Push the foot into the leg into the foot. Find a gazing point, watch your breath. If you feel stable here, arms reach up, tree branches grow. Bring the hands back together, down in front of your heart. Lower your left foot. You can shake the legs out. Next, we're going to bring our feet nice and wide. Make sure that the outer edges of the feet line up with the outer edges of your mat. So when we stand like this, it's really important to also press down through the four corners of the feet, because sometimes when we stand like this, our ankles will roll out or even roll in. So we want to make sure that we are pressing down through the four corners evenly. Navel draws in, crown of the head reaches tall, shoulder blades together and down your back. As you inhale, your arms sweep up. Exhale, hinge from the hips, folding forward. Prasarita Padottanasana, wide-legged forward fold. So it's super interesting. Some of you know, half of the time when I do this pose, my head easily touches the ground. Half of the time, it's nowhere near there. And it really just depends on what other activities I've been doing and how tight my body is. And it's just a reminder that you could do the same pose every single day, and every single day it's going to be different. So while we're here, place your left hand on the floor right under your face. You're going to sweep the right arm up towards the sky as you twist. So the twist is at the belly. Focus on your breath here. Lower the right hand, place it on the floor right beneath the face. Sweep the left arm to the sky as you twist at the belly. Lower the left hand. Bring the hands to the hips, press down through the feet, and come up to standing. So we're going to come up on the heel of that left foot. Toes turn in slightly. Come up on the heel of that right foot. Toes turn out 90 degrees. Bring your arms parallel to your mat and gaze out over the right fingertips. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, you're going to bend the right knee. Then you'll bend your right elbow. As you exhale, begin to tip to the right, bringing the forearm to the thigh. The left arm can slide so that the bicep is right over the ear, or place the hand on the hip. So here we want to be nice and long through the side body. Watch the breath, extended side angle pose. Press down through the feet. Use the left hand to bring yourself back up. We come to warrior two. As you inhale, straighten the right leg, lower those arms, bring the feet to parallel. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, hinge from the hips, folding forward. Relax the head and neck again. Hands come to the hips. Press down through the feet. Come back up to your wide-legged stance. We'll come up on the heel of the right foot. Toes turn in slightly. Come up on the heel of the left foot. Toes turn out 90 degrees. Arms parallel to your mat. Gaze out over those left fingertips. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, let the left knee bend. Notice the left knee doesn't go out past your ankle here. Bend your left elbow. As you exhale, tip to the left, forearm to the thigh. The right arm can slide so that the bicep is right over the ear, or the hand can be on the hip. So if your right shoulder is kind of moving towards the earth, that's a cue you may want to take your hand to the hip, because we really want these shoulders to be stacked, the chest open. Press down through your feet. Use the right hand to bring yourself back up to warrior two. As you inhale, straighten that left leg. Exhale, lower the arms. Feet come back to parallel. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, hinge from the hips. We're going to do that twist again, so you'll place your right hand on the mat right below your face. Make sure you're twisting at the belly. So you're sweeping the right arm up towards the sky, twisting open, focusing on your breath. Lower that right hand. Place it on the floor right beneath your face. Sweep the left arm towards the sky. So I can tell when I twist this way my right hip is kind of getting involved and I feel myself using it to twist, but I really want my twist to start at the belly. It's a little more challenging. Lower the left hand. Place your hands on your hips, press down through the feet to come up. We're going to step the feet together and then come back to the top of the mat and stand in Tadasana. As you inhale, the arms sweep up. Exhale, hinge from the hips, folding forward. And from here, we're going to step back to downward facing dog. So we're going to practice a downward facing dog twist, and I'm going to give you two options. So you're going to take your right hand and place it halfway between your left hand and your left foot, and then gaze out under the left armpit. So that's option one. Option two is to take the right hand and grasp the outside of the left ankle. So you're just deepening the twist a bit here. Extend that right arm out, come back to down dog. Next, you're going to take that left hand halfway between the right foot and hand, gazing out under the right armpit. And if you'd like, you can take the left hand to the outside of the right ankle. Extend that left arm back to downward facing dog. From here, we'll float forward to plank, and we're just going to lower all the way down to the ground. Once you get there, you can cross the forearms in front of you, rest your forehead, bend your knees, and let the legs sway from side to side. Lower the legs to the mat and bring your arms by your sides, palms face the sky. So we're going to practice Ardha Shalabhasana, half locust pose, followed by Shalabhasana, locust pose. This pose is really great to help digestion to move. This is one of those poses, though, you don't want to do it right after you eat because you'll feel it. And you'll know if you should step back because you've just eaten. So bring the arms by your sides, palms face the sky, forehead to the mat. So we're going to try to keep the feet on the ground for now. On the inhale, the head, chest, and arms simultaneously lift up off of the mat. And then as you exhale, they lower. You're moving with your own breath here. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 3 more on your own. When you finish, you can just cross the forearms in front of you and rest your forehead. When you're doing this pose, resist the urge to look forward. Try to keep the back of the neck nice and long. Again, when you finish, just cross the forearms in front of you, rest the forehead. Bring your arms back by your sides, palms face the sky. This time we'll add the legs, and you're going to want to point your toes when we lift. So on the inhale, the head, chest, arms, and legs simultaneously lift up off of the mat. As you exhale, they lower. Inhale, head, chest, arms, legs, lift. Exhale, lower. 3 more on your own. If you're looking for more of a challenge, you can zip those legs together. When you finish, you'll just lower down, cross the forearms in front of you, and rest the forehead. bend your knees. See if you can reach back and grasp the tops of the feet. If this is where you stay, that's perfectly fine. Begin to lift the thighs away from the mat, and then press the feet into the hands to lift the chest. You might rock back and forth, you might not. Either way is fine. Slowly begin to lower. Release the feet, roll over onto your back, and hug the knees into the chest. Once you get there, you can rock side to side if that feels good to you. Give your back a little massage here. Lower the soles of the feet to the mat. Bring your arms by your sides. Palms face the floor. We're going to practice dynamic bridge pose. Before you lift, draw the pelvic floor up. Draw the navel in. Engage both glutes. Press down through the feet. Lift the hips. As you exhale, lower those hips. Continue moving with the breath. When you lift, and it's a little hard to tell from your vantage point, you don't want those knees to jut out past the ankles. And especially if you have knee issues, really make sure that you're doing all the preparation before you lift. Drawing the pelvic floor up, navel in, engaging those glutes, press and lift. The next time you lower those hips, you can pause there. We're going to do a twist, but we're going to do a little adjustment first. So the knees are bent, feet on the floor. You're going to press down through the feet, lift the hips. Bump your hips over to the right about 3 to 5 inches, and then lower the hips. So you might feel a little off kilter here, and that's on purpose. Arms come out like a T, palms face the sky. Draw the knees in towards the chest, and as you exhale, you're going to tip those legs over to the left. Left leg comes down to the mat, right leg can just rest on top of it. Close your eyes and breathe. Inhale and exhale are equal. Start to draw the knees back towards the chest. Lower the feet to the floor. So first, we want to lift the hips and bring them back to neutral. Then, you're going to press down through the feet, lift your hips, bump them over to the left about 3 to 5 inches, lower them to the ground, draw the knees to the chest, and on the exhale, begin to tip to the right. Breathe here. Slowly draw the knees back up. You can lower the feet to the floor, but remember we need to come back to neutral here. So bring those hips back to neutral. Extend the legs out nice and long. Reach the arms up overhead. So here, so just a little something. We're doing a pose called banana pose. And this is going to really open up the side of the body. It can really help with sluggish digestion. We're going to stay flat on our back. Often in this pose, I'll see feet over to the side. We don't want to do that. So you're going to stay on your back the whole time. Slide your left leg over to the left, maybe about 6 inches or so. Then, without rolling onto the hip,
We're going to just slide the right leg over to meet the left. Then you're going to slide your left arm out about 6 to 8 inches. And slide the right arm over to meet it. So the right side of the body is open. Just breathe here. Slide the legs back to center. Arms come to center. Next, you're going to slide your right leg over. And you can do more than 6 inches, however far you're comfortable with. And then slide that left leg over to meet it. Right arm slides over to the right. Left arm slides over to meet the right. Breathe here. Slide the left leg back. Right leg comes to neutral. And then bring arms back to neutral. Hug those knees into the chest. Rock from side to side. And we're going to begin to transition into Shavasana. So if there's anything that you need, you can feel free to grab that now. Once you have what you need, you'll just come to lay on your back with those legs extended out nice and long. Arms are by your sides. Palms face the sky. Make sure those arms are just a few inches away from the body. Let your feet just flop open. Relax the jaw by creating a space between the top and bottom rows of teeth. And let the tongue fall away from the roof of the mouth. Let your eyes rest in their sockets. Resist the urge to make subtle movements. Allow the natural breath to take over. Rest in Shavasana.
slowly start to deepen the breath, becoming aware of the room once again and becoming aware of your body. You can start to make subtle movements that feel good, like wiggling your fingers and wiggling your toes. You can rotate through the wrists and the ankles and turn the head gently from side to side. And then stretch through the arms and the legs like you're just waking up. Nice full body stretch. Roll to the right side in the fetal position, and we'll stay there for a few breaths. Keeping your eyes closed, if you'd like, you can use those arms to bring yourself back up to a comfortable seated position. Once you get there, you can bring your hands together at the heart in Anjali Mudra. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. I hope that you were able to learn some techniques to help with sluggish digestion or just any other digestive issues. And remember that sympathetic nervous system comes on much more than it was designed to, because we live in such a stressful world. So if you can learn to lower your stress, the fight, flight, or freeze reflex will turn off. You can activate the parasympathetic system by watching the breath, by doing particular asana, and allow yourself to rest and digest. May you be happy. May you be peaceful. May you be free from suffering. May you have ease and well-being. Namaste. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.